Hey guys, it's Synergy here, also known as Gaming News on my YouTube channel. Now this is basically my first commentary type video where I'm talking over, playing WoW at the same time, so I apologise for, I don't know, my nervousness maybe. Yeah, I'm feeling that at the moment. Anyway, I've been asked by quite a lot of people to make a Shadow Priest rotation, tips and hints and all that type of video, basically just to help out up and coming PvPers that are Shadow Priest at 90. Now first off, I'm going to show you my talents here. This is basically my talent spec for Arena. It's also good at BGs and just PvP in general, but I usually stay with this anyway. Now I chose Siphene for the first talent line because basically it's quite overpowered, to be honest. You just place it in the middle of enemies and they're just going to get feared and just they have to move or they have to stay there and they'll get feared easy. Arguably though, Void Tendrils is not too bad. If you're in a team where there's like maybe 2 Shadow Priests or a lock with you and there's a lot of fears going around, you don't want to stack them up too much with Siphene because then you're going to get a lot of DRs and it's just going to be like a 1 second fear, which is pointless. Well, it's not that bad actually, but it's still pretty short. But I'd definitely go with Siphene in most cases. It's really overpowered. You can just place it around a pillar in Arena. They're going to have to move from there, then they come out the other side, just fear bomb them, and that's a good start to a game. Second line, Phantasm. That's a no-brainer, to be honest. Phantasm is really overpowered. I mean, it gives you 3 seconds of being untargetable by range attacks, and your movement speed is unhindered for 3 seconds too. If you have a druid trying to cycle on you, or you have someone trying to CC you in any case, you can just use it, or if they're range attack, if it's a range cast obviously, you can just use it and then just run off and LOS them. So you've got 3 seconds to run up to a pillar and LOS them, because they won't be able to cast on you for that 3 seconds. It's pretty overpowered. Like, I've said that a few times, it is crazy. It's probably one of the best talents out of these, to be honest. Even though you may look at it, it may not seem that great, 3 seconds, but it really helps out. Just take my word for it, you need Phantasm. Now with the third line of talents here, we've got a few things that, first of all, Power Word Solas, that's out of the question. That's completely terrible for Shadow Priest and PvP. It's not that bad, but I mean, compared to these, you just don't want it, so just completely forget that. Don't choose it. So I've got From Darkness Comes Light because it's quite a good thing to have some Mind Spikes proc, because Mind Flay, you don't want to use it that much. It's more of a filler spell, so if you have some procs that you can use to get some damage up without, like when you don't need to get dots up on people, it's quite a good thing. So I'd definitely go with that. Mind Bender is, you can go for it. I mean, it's not too bad, but with the Shadow Fiend, it does about the same damage, if not more, even though it says it deals more damage here on Mind Bender. I've tested it a lot of times, and for some reason I just find that Shadow Fiend does more damage. I'm not sure what's up with that. They might need to fix it or something. I don't really know. But anyway, the mana, you don't need it, because with Shadow Priest, when you have Vampiric Touch up on all your targets, you're already getting a really good source of mana regen and all that. The procs of Mind Spike, it's definitely useful in all cases. The fourth talent, I'll go with Spectral Guys, because you can use it when you're stunned, and you can basically lose, like they'll lose your target, like they'll lose you being in their targets for like, 5 seconds or 6 seconds, and it's pretty good. Well, these are not too bad either, but I'd go with Spectral Guys. Most Shadow Priests do. It's definitely good. You can fear bomb people too. You can stealth them and just walk up to them, fear them. They won't even see it coming because you're not even there to them. Yeah. Well, with a 5th talent, thing, I'd go with Divine Insight, because you need more procs. As I said earlier, Mind Flay is a filler spell. You don't really want to use it that often, especially in Arena. It's not that bad, but I mean, you can get a lot more damage out with procs. Power Infusion, you could choose that, because that's going to increase your burst potential a lot, but your overall sustained damage is not going to be as good without Divine Insight. Now the last talent line here, we've got Halo, Divine Star and Cascade. I'd definitely advise that you go for Halo for Arena, because it gets people out of stealth. That is the main thing here. It's really good 30 yards that it's just going to get everyone out of stealth. If they've got a rogue, the whole team's going to be stealth because of that new spell. So you just walk up to the pillars, just use it, or wherever you think they're going to be, and it'll probably get them out. Chances are, if you go to the right spot, it'll get them out, and it's a good start to a game. Cascade, I'd go with that for Battlegrounds, to be honest, because it bounces between targets, and if there's a big group of enemies, you can use it. It's going to do a ton of damage to all of them. Same with allies, you can heal them, but in any other case, I'd go with Halo for PvP. It just works much better. It does more damage as well if you're further away, but the main thing is that it gets people out of stealth. That is crazy. Now with my glyphs, first off, I use Glyph of Dark Binding because the fact that I can use Prayer of Mending, Renew, and Leap of Faith without cancelling Shadow Form is quite good. I mean, Prayer of Mending, jumping, like you just run around using it when you're getting attacked or something like that, is really helpful. And usually, I actually use Prayer of Mending like every chance I get when it's off cooldown on anyone who needs it, because it doesn't use that much mana, and it's a good spell. It bounces around, and yeah. Leap of Faith, that's a really useful spell. You're going to need it a lot if you know what you're doing, and not having to cancel Shadow Form to cast all those 3 spells really helps out, especially the mana wise too, because it costs mana to go back into Shadow Form. Even though mana isn't usually much of a problem with Shadow Priest, as long as you have MP touches, it's still good to have that. It's going to take off some downtime of Shadow Form dancing, I guess. With this glyph of Shadow Word Death, now if you have any kind of decent arena experience, you'd know that this is a glyph that you definitely need as a priest, because in any priest spec you need this. When a mage is trying to polymorph you, you just use it about, I don't know, 0.3 seconds or 0.5 seconds before they cast, and then the ability, or the glyph, it's going to hit you back, and it's going to break the polymorph. So if you know what I mean. Some people know what I mean here, some people won't. It's more of an experience type thing, and if you've seen it, it's kind of a clutch spell. It's a really useful thing. You need to make sure you see when mages cast polymorph and you can get it off. And without the glyph you can't do that, because it doesn't hit you back for damage unless you're like below 20%. So this glyph is really useful for that. It's called Shadow Word Death, Holy Breaking, basically. Glyph of Master Spell, that's definitely a no-brainer. You need that to get bubbles and bops and like ice blocks and all that off Hellies and Druids that symbiosis one of their mage partners and get ice block, and mages and all that, so you can quickly get back to your target and burst them down before they get healed up in an invulnerability spell. So that's my glyphs. Now as a Shadow Priest in PvP, you should be keeping your dots up on all targets at all times. That's Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain, because they proc Mind Blast and Mind Spikes, and that really helps you out. That's basically your sustained damage. And I'll show you here. For example, if I was in a battleground right now, I'd be doing this. I'd be putting dots up on everyone around me. They don't last that long, but it's good, because look at my action bars. Everything's just procking away. I mean, Mind Spikes, Mind Blast, and this is just constant 50k damage. And look, I'm even getting 3 Shadow Orbs at the time, getting Devouring Plagues up. It's really good. That is a good way to get some sustained, constant damage going on with your targets. Now I'm going to show you some burst. So first off, get my dots up. Make sure you have 3 stacks of Shadow Orbs when you burst. If you're with a partner in Arena and they've got their procs, and you need to burst at the same time as they do, but you don't have 3 Shadow Orbs, it's fine to use a Devouring Plague with less than 3. Although it won't be as much damage, it's still alright, because it's still going to be some good damage. Just if you just pop your cooldown, it's still going to be good. So here we go, I've got 3 stacks of Shadow Orbs now. So pop everything you have, put dots up with your trinket, Shadow Fiend, Mind Blast, then Devouring Plague. Look at that, 134,000. Mind Blast, there it is. If you're a bit further away, you can Halo, it's going to hit for about 70k. Not from there, but there's 65k there. Just keep going. Pop everything. Maybe put a little silence on the target. No, actually, I should probably use it on healers. That's about it. That's for the burst right there. You get all your procs. Make sure you have 3 shadow orbs. Use your trinket, and make sure you use your shadow fin after your trinket. So yeah, that's about it. It's actually all around quite simple. Things that you should watch out for in Arena and PvP is just what people are casting, their buffs, debuffs. You can dispel it if you need, you know, with dispel magic. Just watch your surroundings, and if you're going for a burst, try to get a fear on the healer, or if you burst in the healer, fear bomb, and put siphon up. Whatever is good for the situation. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my first commentary video, Shadow Priest rotation, some tips. I was quite nervous throughout it, so sorry if I messed up some things, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, see ya.